Teaching a new members class can be an exciting opportunity to introduce people to the life and to the ministry of a church. In the past, when I've taught new members classes, I've made the mistake of conveying too much information and not allowing time for people to process what it means to be a member and what the implications of that covenant partnership, which is the term I prefer, that covenant partnership for their lives and for their family. This was driven home to me by reflecting on my experience as a volunteer fireman. And let me share a little bit with you what that was like to help put this new members class into perspective. When I joined the fire department, I went through an interview process with the department, with 5 men from the department, including the chief and my wife at the time. My wife. She's still my wife. My wife. And in that meeting, they explained to us the expectations. The expectations were very, very clear. I had to attend 50%, roughly 6 business meetings a year. I had to participate in 40 hours of training a year. And I had to, at a minimum, respond to 30% of the tone. Those are the ones, tone calls are the ones they set the alarms off for. Those were the expectations to be a member in good standing. Now, I could exceed those expectations, but that was the minimal standard. On top of that, they said if you do that, if you meet those standards, we will reimburse you $2 a call of tone calls for when you responded to help you out with gas. In agreeing to the expectations, my life became tethered to a pager and later to a radio. I never knew when an alarm call was going to come, and I had to be able to respond morning, noon, and night. Now, it was interesting that was my entrance into the community. Those were the expectations. As I lived and worked in that community over a number of years, I was dramatically shaped by my involvement in that community. I began to see life differently. When I drive by an automobile accident, I ask a different set of questions as a result of those experiences than I would have asked before. When I see smoke in the air, or I see a structure fire or a wildland fire, I ask a different set of questions than I would have asked before my involvement with the fire department. My involvement in the fire department shaped and molded me into a different kind of person. Now, I'm sure I shaped and molded them to some degree, but in large part, I was probably shaped more by them than they were by me. When I think of a church membership class, I think about inviting covenant partners into a relationship where we clearly lay out our expectations. This is who we are. This is what we expect of you. This is what we're going to hold you accountable to so that you maintain a covenant partnership in good standing. So, for example, we might say, as a covenant partner, we do not expect you. Matter of fact, we'll be upset if you attend another church in our community on a Sunday morning rather than this congregation. We might say that we would be upset with you if you, in your practice of stewardship, if you don't invest in our ministries here. We might say that we would be upset with you that if the Sunday morning is dreary or sunny and you decide not to attend church for some arbitrary reason, that you are in essence hurting us. We might even go so far as to say that if something else in your life appears to be your first love besides Christ and His body, then we'll say something to you. It gives us an opportunity to establish the expectations we have for people who are joining our community, and they join our community understanding who we are as the people of God, what we believe in our doctrines and theological statements, and what we expect of them, what it means to be a covenant partner. It's interesting. I've been away from the fire department now for roughly 8.5 years, and I am still a different person as a result of those experiences. I've been shaped by that. When someone becomes a covenant partner with us in our congregations, they ought to be shaped into being faithful Christ followers. And we should be upfront with them about that. That our desire is not that you just attend, not that you just participate, but our desire is that you attend and that you participate and that you be shaped into a faithful Christ follower as a result of that. So as you look through the material for this week on leading a new members class, please remember that how you lead that class will set the tone and set the expectations for what you expect of those who are your covenant partners in ministry.